Good evening, friends. Welcome to my class, International Business Dynamics. As you know very well, every international business firm has to face various challenges related to organizational policies. So, these are to be addressed carefully in order to keep business healthy and profitable. Dear friends, so we are going to learn the topics like evolution of international business, drivers and challenges of international business as compared to domestic business, national and organizational competitive advantages of international business over the world, active players in multinational business, international business environment, which includes political, legal, technological, cultural, demographic, and economic, cross cultural management, and levels of culture, models to aid international managers. Let's begin our session with the meaning of international business. Before going to understand the international business, we need to know the distinguish between international business and international trade. Dear friends, international trade means buying and selling of goods across the border, whereas international business is concerned buying and selling of goods and services across the national borders. So these business activities may be manufacturing, mining, construction, agriculture, banking, insurance, health, education, transportation, communication, etc. International business is the process of focusing on the resources of the globe and objectives of the organizations on global business opportunities and threats. Therefore, international business is defined as global trade of goods and services or even investment. So let's understand the characteristics of international business. Firstly, size in the business. Almost all the multinational companies should be large in order to have impact on the foreign economies. The size, it may be production, marketing, distribution, etc. Most of the MNCs are significantly large in size in order to make scale productions. Market segmentation. Most of the international business firms segment their market on the basis of geographic market. It may be South Indian market, North Indian market, Northeast market. In the same way, at the global level, African market, American market, Asian market. So, like this, they are going to segment the market on the basis of the geographical speciality. Potentiality of market. Market segmentation of the foreign markets that helps the business firms in order to identify the various consumers, their tastes and preferences, and purchasing abilities. Hence, international business houses have more potential than the domestic market. Benefits to participating countries. Most of the countries which are participating in the international business, they receive global capital and technology, resulting in rapid industrial development that led to the more employment opportunities. Therefore, developing economies open their economies through liberal economic policies. Keen competition. International business has to face tough competition in the world market. The MNCs, especially the countries like developing countries where they could not able to compete with the companies which are participating in the global market. Accurate information. There is a saying, accurate information makes appropriate decisions. International business houses need accurate information to make appropriate decisions. For example, data based on accurate data could make the appropriate decisions to enter into the European markets, which is most opportunistic market, especially for the leather goods. Timely information. International business houses need not only accurate but also time decisions, as timely information facilitates the international business houses to take time decisions, right decisions at the right time, which helps in reading expenditure, etc. For example, Coca Cola could enter into the European market based on the time information, whereas Pepsi entered later. Large scale operation, international business, all the operations are conducted on a large, huge scale. It may be production, marketing, which will be happening at the large scale. It first sells its goods in the local market, then the surplus goods which have been produced to be exported. Wider scope. International business covers the international marketing, international investment management, management of foreign exchange, management of HRM, management of international production, getting international finance from international financial bodies, international financial organizations like IMF, IBRD, IFS, IFC, International Financial Corporation, etc. Hence, international business house. It has wider scope to access the foreign exchange. Inter-country comparative study. As international business studies the business opportunities, threats, consumer preferences, behavior, culture of various class of consumers, business, environmental factors, the system presents inter-country comparison for the international business firms. Integration of economies. International business integrates the economies of many countries. This is because it uses finance from one country, labor from another country, and infrastructure from the other country. So therefore, there is an integration of the economies of the world that is possible because of the international business. Special role of science and technology. International business gives more importance for science and technology. Science and technology which helps the business to have large scale production. Developed economies use high technologies. Therefore, international business helps them to transfer such high end technologies to the developing economies. Thereby, developing economies could able to access sophisticated technology from the West. International restrictions. International business faces many restrictions on the inflow and outflow of the capital, technology, and goods. Many governments have trade blocks, tariffs, barriers, foreign exchange restrictions, etc., to the entire their countries. That led to some of the international restrictions which are created in different foreign countries. Sensitive in nature, international business is very sensitive in nature. Any changes in the economic policies, technology, political environment, etc., have a huge impact on the participating firms. So now let's discuss drivers of international business, higher rate of profits, expanding the production capacities, limited home market, political stability versus political instability, availability of technology and competent human resources, high cost of transportation, nearness to raw materials, liberalization and globalization to increase market share. Let's have a discuss in detail of these driving force to go global. Higher rate of profits. International business firms search for the foreign markets where there is a scope for higher rate of profit. Thus, the objective of the international firm like profit, which affects and motivates the business houses to expand their operations to many foreign economies. For example, international sales of Apple accounted for about 60% of its revenue in 2012, which is a big part of Apple's success story. Hewlett Packard in the US earns more than half of its profits from the foreign markets as compared to the domestic markets. That shows the higher rate of profits for the international business firms, which is a driving force to go global. Expanding the production capabilities beyond the demand of the domestic economies. Take the example of Toyota of Japan is an example which is having the limited geographical area. Production capacity is beyond the demand of the domestic economies. Therefore, so Toyota entered into the sorry Asian and American markets. Limited home market. When the size of the home market is limited, either due to the small size of the population or due to the lower purchasing power of the people in domestic economies. So that is the driving force. Take the example of Japanese automobiles and electronic firms entered the USA, Europe, and even African countries due to smaller size of the home market. ITC entered the European market due to the lower purchasing power of the Indians with regard to the high quality cigarettes. So this is another important driving force for the international business firms to go global. Political stability and political instability. It is viewed that US is a political stable country. Countries like UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. So these are the countries where we do find stability, political stability. Most of the African countries and even Asian countries like Pakistan, where we have instability, politically instability. So therefore, business firm prefer to enter the countries where they have political stability. In fact, business firms shift their operations from the political unstable countries to the politically stable economies. Availability of technology and competent HR. The developed countries, due to these reasons, attract companies from the developing world. In fact, American and European companies in recent years developed on Indian companies for software products and services through their business process outsourcing. So, this is because the cost of professionals in India is 10 to 15% less compared to the US and European labor market. High cost of transportation. For example, Mobil, which was supplying petroleum products to Ethiopia, Kenya, Eritrea, Sudan, etc., from its refineries in Saudi Arabia, established its refineries in Eritrea itself in order to reduce the transportation expenses. So that is one of the driving force to go global of the companies like Mobil. Nearness to raw materials. The source of highly qualitative raw materials and bulk raw materials is a major factor for attracting the companies from various foreign economies. So, therefore, take the example of Vedanta Resources is a London based stock exchange listed UK based company operating principally in India due to availability of raw materials such as iron ore, copper, zinc, and lead. It has substantial operations in Zambia, Australia, where ample copper is available. Liberalization and globalization. Almost all the countries of the world today have opened up their economies to the rest of the world. So that is the change in the policies of the world economies attracted the multinational companies to extend or expand their business operations to different foreign economies to increase market share. For example, Ball Corporation, the third largest beverage company manufacturer in the US, bought the European packaging operations of Continental Can Company. Then it expanded its operations to Europe and met the European demand, which is 200% more than that of the US. Thus, it increased its global market share of soft drink cans. Some of the other drivers which helps the companies, international business companies, to go global. Establishment of the WTO, World Trade Organization, which came into force on 1st Jan 1995, established to facilitate the implementation, the administration and operation of the agreements and on the multilateral trade agreements. It has provided the framework for implementing the multilateral trade agreements which are happening between the countries. So therefore, establishment of the WTO increased exports and imports in the international business. Regional integrations. Regional integration of the countries of the same region increases the size of the market. Take the example of European Union, NAFTA, ASEAN, SAARC. So these are some of the regional integrations which helps the member countries to expand their business operations to serve the member countries. Declining trade barriers, almost all the countries, as I told you. So nowadays, there is drastically restrictions have been banned, opened their economies to the rest of the world. So therefore, that is one of the impetus for the development and growth of the business firms to go global. So these are some of the driving force for the international business firms to go global. So now let's understand the benefits of international business. High living standards, increased socio-economic welfare, wider market, reduced effects of business cycles, reduced risks, large scale economies, potential untapped market, provides the opportunity to domestic business, division of labor and specialization, economic growth of the world at large, optimum and proper utilization of the world resources, cultural transformation. So let's understand these benefits of international business in detail. High living standards. Comparative cost theory indicates that the countries which have the advantages of the raw materials, human resources, natural resources, and climatic conditions, in particular goods, can produce the products at low cost and also of high quality. Customers in various countries can able to buy those commodities. In turn, it can also enhance the living standard of the people through enhancing the purchasing power and by consuming high quality products. So therefore, the countries which are participating in the international business, in that particular country, the standard of living of the people has been drastically increased. Increased socio-economic welfare, international business enhances the consumption level and economic welfare of the people, especially the trading partners. For example, the people of China are now enjoying varieties of products of various countries like Coca Cola, McDonald's range of products, electronic products from Japan, coffee from Brazil. Very recently, the China has opened up its economies to the rest of the world. So thus, the Chinese consumption level and socio-economic welfare has enhanced. Wider market. The companies need not depend on the demand for the products in a single country. Consumer tastes and preferences of a single country. So due to the enhanced market, Air France now mostly depends on the demand for air travel of the customers from countries other than France. So this is true in case of the most of the MNCs like Toyota, Honda, Xerox and Coca Cola, which have wider market opportunities due to the participating in the international business. Reduced effects of the business cycle. So the stages of the business cycle may vary from one country to another country. Therefore, MNCs shifts from their operations from the country where they have recession to the country where they have been experiencing the boom conditions. This enabled the international firms to escape the recessionary conditions in some countries. Reduced risks. Both commercial and political risks are reduced for the companies engaged in the international business due to the spread in different countries. Multinational firms which were operating in erstwhile USSR were affected only partly due to their safer operations in other countries, but the domestic companies of the then USSR collapsed completely, so therefore they could able to reduce the risks of the loss. Large scale economies. Multinational companies, due to the wider and large market, produce large quantities which provide the benefits of the large scale business operations, like reducing the cost of production, availability of expertise, quality of the product, etc. Potential untapped markets. International business provides the chance of exploring and exploiting the potential markets which are untapped so far. International business provides the opportunity for the international business firms to sell their commodities at a higher price than in the domestic market in those economies which have not yet tapped. For example, Bata sells shoes in the UK at 100 pounds sterling, around 8,000 rupees, whose price is around 1200 in India. Provides the opportunity to domestic business. So these opportunities include technology, management expertise, market intelligence, product development, which helps the firms to grow domestically. For example, Japanese firms like Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki have combined to form joint ventures with Indian companies to form Hero Honda, Birla Yamaha, Maruti Suzuki, and Kawasaki Bajaj to share technology and product, especially in the developing country like India. Division of labor and specialization. International business leads to division of labor and specialization. For example, Brazil specialized in coffee production, Kenya in tea production, Japan in automobiles and electronics, India specialized in the textile, garments, etc. So these are the companies where we could able to produce more quantities. So those international firms could able to export such products in which they have specialization. Economic growth, the world at large. Specialization, division of labor, enhancement of the productivity, posing challenges, development to meet them, innovations and creations to meet the competition led to overall economic growth of the world nations. So therefore, international business firms particularly helped the Asian companies, Asian countries like Japan, Taiwan, Korea, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, and the United Arab Emirates, which have drastically grow because of the participation in the international business. Optimum and proper utilization of the world resources. International business firms provides the opportunity for the firms flow of raw materials, natural resources, human resources from the countries where they are in excess, supply to those countries where they are in scarce, short supply, and need most. For example, flow of human resources from India, consumer goods from the UK, France, Italy, and Germany to developing economies. So this in turn helps in optimum and proper utilization of world resources at large. Cultural transformation, international business benefits are not purely economical and commercial. They are also even social and cultural. These days, we observe that West is slowly tending towards the East and vice versa. It does mean that the good cultural factors and values of the East are very much attracted by the Westerns and vice versa. Thus, there is a close cultural transformation and integration which is possible so due to the international business. So these are some of the benefits of the international business. So now let's understand the differences between the domestic and international business. Basis, international business and domestic business. Payment. As far as payment is concerned in the international business, the payment is being made by the participating countries, participating firms in foreign currencies. For example, Mr. X is importing the goods from Germany. He has to make the payment in the form of German currency for the exporters in Germany. But so this type of payment is not possible in the domestic business. In the domestic business, only single currency for the entire nation. The trade taking place, business is being taken place between the states, between the region, within the national boundary. The payment is being made with only one currency. Laws and rules. International business firms subject to the international laws and regulations. They might have different laws, different regulations because they are having the business operations in different foreign economies. But national rules and regulations which are subject to be limited to the particular geographical area called India. For entire nation like India, we have the rules and regulations which are similar. Customs and traditions. International business firms faced different customs and different traditions because so they have business operations in different foreign economies. But customs and traditions which are similar, almost similar in the different parts of the country. Legal and economic system. International business have to face the different legal, economic and tax system, but in the domestic business we do find almost same legal systems, tax systems like GST that we have adopted recently. Approach. International business firms follow geocentric approach, but domestic business houses follow ethnocentric approach. Human resource. International business firms employs the people from the same country, same economy. So that is possible in the domestic business. Therefore, the task of human resource management is not much complicated in domestic business. Whereas international business is concerned, international business firms employ the people from various economies. Therefore, the task of HRM is much complicated because MNC is hiring the people from India, deploying them to African market. So it is very difficult to manage the HR because different culture, different traditions, all those things. Markets and customers in international business firms should understand the markets and customs of various economies. But this is not required in domestic business. So where they have only domestic customs, domestic market, which is similar almost all parts of the country. Sharing technology. Domestic business does not share the latest technology within the national boundary, but in the international business firms participating in the international business, so they are going to have latest technologies, that is innovated various business firms across the globe, which will improve the mode and quality of their production consequently. So these are some of the distinctions between the international business and international domestic business. So now let's understand the active players in international business. Apple Inc. This American multinational company was started by Steve Jobs and his friends in the year 1976. It develops and sells the computers, laptops, software, and online services. Apple is a world-renowned consumer electronic company, and some of its best-known products are iPhone, iPad, iPod, and Mac line of computers. The current CEO of this company is Tim Cook. It is the second highest producer of smartphones in the world. The company has stepped to India to utilize the human resources of the country to bring better and improved technologies in the future in our country. Hewlett Packard. This is one of the famous technologies brand headquartered in Palo Alto, California. It is a leading company that manufactures laptops, desktops, tablets, monitors, printers, etc. So this American electronics and information technology company was started in the year 1999. They are known for their high-end quality products with same futuristic and high potential technologies. This company ranking at ninth position is known to bring innovations to the field of technologies at a very affordable prices for a country like India. Sony Corporation. Sony is one such brand that excels itself in many sectors of the technology and electronics. Sony Corporation is a Japanese multinational company, came into existence in the year 1946 and operates in the sector of electronics, music, and entertainment. The company started its operation in India in 1994 and produces and manufactures television, mobile phones, cameras, PlayStations, headphones, memory card, and other materials. Citigroup. It's an American multinational banking and financial service corporation founded in the year 1812. It provides services across 140 nations with approximately 16,000 offices with 239,000 employees worldwide. So this corporation was incorporated in the year 1998 after the merger of City Corporation and Travelers Group. City Group made a debut in India in 2002 through its subsidiary Citibank, which presently has more than 40 branches in over 30 cities in India. PepsiCo. So this is at another American MNC in this list that has gained a huge popularity amongst the Indian masses. The company manufactures snack foods, beverages, and other products. It was founded in the year 1965 after the merger of Pepsi Cola Company, and Frito Lay, and presently operates in the Asia, North America, South America, Africa, and Europe. They are known to have collaborated with multiple companies at the same time. 7 Up, Pepsi, Slice, Miranda. So these are the few beverage products which are produced and supplied in the country like India. Coca Cola. It is an American beverage company established in the year 1886 by Asa Briggs Cadler. They are leading manufacturers of famous beverages in the country. It was incorporated to India through Coca Cola India Private Limited. Featuring at the fifth position Coca Cola, Thumbs Up, Fanta, Mazza. So these are the few beverage products brought out by this famous company in India. Procter and Gamble. So it's a globally acclaimed consumer goods company established in the year 1837 by William Procter and James Gamble. It started its operations in India in the year 1964. Presently serves the customers with products like Gillette, Vicks, Olay, Pantene, Ariel, Tide, etc. So they are one of the leading producers in India with more than 50% of India's population is using these products. The company is very popular and also involved in various charity and awareness campaigns in our country. Nestle. So this is a Switzerland-based food company that debuted in India in the year 1912. They initially introduced imported products to the Indian market and later incorporated in the country to suit the needs of the people in India. It is presently the leading food and beverage company in India. Some of its products like Nescafe, Maggi, Nestle, Milk, Kit Kat, Bar, One, Milky Bar, Nestle, Slim Milk. So these are the products which are popular in the country like India. IBM. So this is one of the most famous technology companies again in the world that have pioneered some of the major operations and inventions in the field of technology and research. It's an American multinational company established in the year 1911 by Thomas J. Watson and Charles Ranett Flint. IBM Private Limited is an Indian subsidiary of IBM. It is headquartered in Bangalore. IBM India Private Limited started its operation in 1992 and is today a leading company of information technology in India. Its products and services in India include IT services, business consulting services, application management, servers, and storage solutions. Microsoft. This company is one of the most famous American multinational software and technology companies in the world, founded by Bill Gates. Microsoft Corporation India is a subsidiary of Microsoft Corporation, an American multinational company started in the year 1975. The headquarters of this company is located in Hyderabad. Microsoft Corporation India started its operations in India in the year 1990. Since then, it has been in close association with the Government of India and IT industry. The company's present CEO is an Indian, and the company has harvested the Indian HR in a very efficient manner and have gained a lot of success in our country. It was the list of top 10 multinational companies in India by 2017, so that have extensive operations across the country. Ever since their advent, the employment rate in the country has also increased, which is a great positive sign for the progress of the country like India. So, with this, I am going to stop. So, remaining aspects that we are going to discuss in the successive classes. Thank you. Have a good day.